I know it.
Now this was an opportunity that was just too hard to resist. We were at a racetrack with Bajaj's fully faired Pulsar RS200. We pitted it against its closest rival for the street, the Yamaha R15, and well, the RS200 came up ahead. But now, here at the racetrack, we've got its sibling, the KTM RC200. For most people, this would be a foregone conclusion, but we wanted to know just how much of a difference would it be between these two bikes out on the track. So mechanically, these two motorcycles are very closely related, but there are differences. In terms of the engine, both bikes are fuel injected, but the Pulsar uses a triple spark head. Despite that, it is just a little bit down on power and torque when compared to the KTM. However, the RS's big disadvantage is that it is heavier by 11 kilograms. Okay, that's the basic information that we need to know before hitting the track. Now it's time to head out, and we're going to start with KTM's RC200. Out on the track, the RC200 is ever so impressive. The rev-happy engine is eager, and it hauls the bike to a true top speed of 130 kilometers an hour down the back straight. Through the longer corners and the flowing sections, the RC is the quicker motorcycle. That's because it has the tightly stacked gear ratios and more precise throttle response, which makes getting the right amount of power for every corner much easier and a lot more intuitive. In comparison, the RS200 requires larger throttle inputs to modulate speed, but the Pulsar has a few tricks up its sleeve. Despite being heavier and having a more upright stance, it has the edge in terms of top speed. Down the straight, it is 2 kilometers an hour faster than the RC200, and it certainly isn't short of grunt either. Now this was a really pleasant surprise. We've liked the Pulsar RS200's motor out on the road, but it has managed to impress us out here even at this fast track. What was impressive was it has, yes, a higher top speed, but more than that, the motor just feels so willing. It just gives you the grunt you need to ride out of corners really quickly and helps you build speed really fast. But is all that added performance everything it needs? The next aspect, of course, is how these two motorcycles handle. So let's see how these two bikes fare. In terms of handling hardware, the notable differences between these two motorcycles are these. The RS uses telescopic forks instead of the beefy upside-down units on the KTM. The RS's tires, front and rear, are slimmer than the ones on the RC. Despite these hardware advantages, the RC weighs 11 kilograms less than the RS. It also packs a 1340mm wheelbase, which is tighter than the RS's 1355mm wheelbase. But when you hit the track on RS, it inspires a lot of confidence immediately. For one, you sit lower down, nestled in the bike. Then you have the grip from the superb MRF tires and the composure of the longer wheelbase. This lets you carry more speed through tighter corners on the Pulsar. But in the longer corners, the RS runs into trouble. Here the front and rear suspension setup feel out of sync, and it takes time to settle on a line, which means it takes longer to go hard on the gas. Also, the RS loses time in sections where one corner quickly leads into another, because it feels less responsive when changing directions quickly. The ABS-equipped brakes on the Pulsar had a lot of bite, but they were grabby, and this made late braking a little bit ragged. The RC, on the other hand, is cool and collected. It is sharper, more agile, and more composed. This gives it an extra tenth of a second or a couple of extra kph in most corners and chicanes. In the faster sweeping corners, the composure of the RC lets you go on the gas earlier. And when you have to change directions quickly, it just flicks quicker, again letting you accelerate harder. So it may not have the stronger engine, but the dynamics make the most of every horsepower that the RC has. Sadly, the test bike was not in the best mechanical condition. and getting the best out of it wasn't as much fun as we would have expected.
Well, we knew that this was a bit of a foregone conclusion. The RC200, of course, is clearly for the rider who wants a sportier motorcycle. It is the more expensive motorcycle and the one that you'd really want to pick if it's cornering that you'd want to do. Something that's quick but better for everyday use would be your RS200. But as we said, this is about track tests, this is about lap times, and the RC200 rules here.
So, the lap times. Of my 4 laps on the RS200, the fastest was a 2 minute 21.6 second lap. Meanwhile, the KTM RC200 was a second and a half faster, with the best time of 2 minutes 19.98 seconds. More importantly, national champion K. Rajani's lap time of 2 minutes 10.5 on the RC200 was 3 seconds faster than his time on the Pulsar RS200. So whether it's in the hands of amateurs or professionals, the KTM RC200 stamps its advantage over the RS with authority. However, the Pulsar can hold its head high. After all, it's been designed for all seasons of motorcycling, so its lap time shows that its full fairing has been well earned.